am a second-year McE major. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm standing here today to run as your 2023-2024 academic school year secretary. So through Fusion, I've met many people that have supported and pushed me into becoming a better person than I was before. It has just basically become my home, and because of this, I want to help facilitate the same kind of environment that it did for me for our current and future general members. That is why I decided to become a Fusion intern. As an intern, I was given the opportunity to basically shadow all the positions within Fusion, and through this, I found that I really, really liked the position of the secretary. It truly didn't feel like work to me. I would always go out of my way to try and talk to our current secretary and see what kind of stuff I could do to help her in her job. And because of how great she was, I just basically want to continue on and do what she did next year for our club. So with that being said, I want to expand upon the general membership spotlight that she had implemented this year, because I saw that highlighting and recognizing our active members was just such a positive thing to add to our email. So the thing that I want to specifically expand is with highlighting our mentorship lines as well as our FAM systems. I feel like for our mentorship line, I'm going to work with our current IVP-elect with what she had mentioned in her platform, and just basically highlight the line bi-weekly, because I think it's a great way to get an inside glimpse of our other lines, as well as showing those who are unsure and hesitant about joining the mentorship program just how great it is. And in terms of the FAM system, I want to work with next year's FAM and sub-FAM heads on basically creating IG monthly dumps and like showcasing all the activities that they have done throughout the month. And I feel like this is a great way to keep encouraging FAMs to keep hanging out together and document themselves together. And I think it's a really, really cute way to see all the FAMs and like what they've done within the email. In addition to this, there have been some recent changes made to the secretary position, one of that being that secretary is now in charge of helping general meeting hosts with their meetings. Throughout this quarter, I found that I had a lot of enjoyment with the process of planning for general meeting. And so because of that, I really, really want to be that kind of support that our general meeting hosts can go to in the event that they ever get stuck with planning or if they ever need help. And just because this is a responsibility that I'm excited to have, that does not mean that I intend to take away the fun of planning meetings from them. I simply just want to be there as like a support that they can go to just in case that they need some additional assistance or extra help. So as someone who really, really appreciates Fusion, I want to do my best to support Fusion in a way that I know I can. So thank you so much, and I hope you consider me as next year's secretary.
All right, everyone, this is a new document, so please scan it. This is a reminder, Karen. It will be 10 minutes total because there's no group candidate, so 5 minutes individual, 5 minute group. Yeah. So your first question is, why shouldn't you run for this position?
The first thing that comes to mind when I think of not running this position is just like my social battery. I do admit that I'm on the shyer side of the spectrum, and I do kind of get intimidated when I meet new people, but I feel like through this internship in Fusion, I was able to kind of step out of my zone. And I know that as an exec, I'm going to have to do that even more so for the new members that are going to be coming into Fusion. So yeah, it's something that I definitely plan to be working on, but I think I'm stepping in the right direction for it.
All right, your next question is, what is one thing you believe you are personally going to add to your family?
When I was like co-hosting and like helping with the events, I felt like I kind of kept my group organized, or at least on top of it. So I feel like when I'm on board, I'm just gonna keep reminding everyone about the little things that needs to get done, because I kind of like getting things done in Fusion kind of as soon as I can.
Your next question is, as secretary, a lot of your work depends on sticking to a tight schedule. How do you plan to enforce this tight schedule to your fellow board members to prevent hindering getting work done?
As I kind of mentioned before, I think if I see that something is not getting done, I will definitely go out of my way to try and check up on them and to see if they just simply need like a little bit of help or like a little nudge forward to get something out. But I do intend to maybe be a little stricter on deadlines. Like, I think, yeah, I'm just gonna keep reminding them about the stuff that we have coming up, because I know that my job is dependent upon other people getting their job done. So yeah.
Thank you. Your next question is, how do you plan on keeping meeting hosts accountable for delivering good, clean general meetings?
I feel like it's the same thing. I really want to like keep checking up on them to ensure that they're doing okay, and that they're in a good state where they're able to like put their best foot forward and create meetings that I think the general members would like.
Your next question is, can you critique the current position holder?
Honestly, I think it's really, really hard to critique the current position holder, just because I feel like she's done everything right. She's like on time with the meeting. She ensures that our emails get out on time, and when she needs to, she will like pester people to get their things done. If there was one thing I had to critique her on, I feel like she could have been a little harder on board members to make her life a little easier, because sometimes I feel like she would get stressed when she didn't have some of the things that the email needed to be done sent in time. So
All right, your next question is, as a secretary role is quite strict in time and schedules, how will you enforce your own personal schedule to be aligned with Fusion and its events?
I feel like now, as an intern who's mainly interned under secretary, I purposely made time in my schedule so that I could work on Fusion stuff on time. And so I plan to keep on doing that, and if I see that there's a deadline that might conflict with something that I have within Fusion, and if I can do it earlier, then I will do that earlier, and then so that I could put my full attention on whatever I need to do for Fusion. And if it's not possible, then I will definitely reach out to my other board members to see if they can kind of help me out with whatever task I need to get done.
Thank you. Your next question is, you mentioned working closely with the current secretary. What parts of her position do you think is done well, and what do you plan on continuing moving forward?
I think she's done a really good job with just ensuring that our emails were getting sent out at a reasonable time, not too late or not too like early in the morning, just like a good time where people can see it. And another thing that she did really well was just consistently trying her best to highlight, to make sure that she diversified the people that we were trying to highlight within Fusion. Like, she tried to ensure that it wasn't just like male people. We also wanted to get other people who were female, male, a part of the engineering project or not. Like, she tried her best to like make sure that we made Fusion inclusive within everything.
Thank you. Your next question is, what are some qualities you look for in your potential on your board?
Something that I think is really important to have as a part of board is just being reliable. And I feel like being reliable goes hand in hand with like a lot of other qualities that you should have. If you're reliable, then I feel like you would do your job correctly and like, well, not correctly, but like you would do your job in a good manner and like on time. And then if you are reliable, then I feel like you would be able to effectively communicate with other people who are on board and ensure that things aren't being miscommunicated and like everyone's on the same page. So yeah, if I feel like that a person who's running for appointed board is someone that we can really rely on, then that gives them a good boost.
Thank you. Your next question is, as an intern, what is one thing you learned from this year from board that you hope to bring with you as secretary?
I feel like I'm still in the process of learning it, but like I think because of Fusion, I've become a little bit more comfortable with like being in front of people and like just speaking, public speaking, especially because I really, really like hosting a couple of the Gen meetings that we had. So that is something that I definitely want to bring into the next board and definitely improve upon because I really want to be more comfortable in front of other people.
Your next question is, what impact do you hope to leave on Fusion?
An impact that I hope to leave on Fusion is that I know that I did my job right and that I really was just someone that other people on board felt comfortable going to in the event that they ever needed me for anything. But yeah.
Your next question is, what aspect of the secretary's role is most important to you?
I think that the emails are extremely important as well as the week at a glance. I feel like those two things contain everything that a general member needs to know that's going on within Fusion. So I feel like without those two things, I don't know, I feel like it would be kind of hard for general members to know exactly what's going on and all the good upcoming events that we have.
The next question is, what is one pillar you would hope to uplift as secretary?
A pillar that I do hope to uplift would be the professional pillar. I know that I said this earlier, but I do want to work with the elect IVP with what she wanted to do with the mentorship lines, because I know that when she wanted to highlight the mentorship lines, she really wanted to enforce the professionalism pillar. So that's one pillar that I think would be uplifted with the position.
You have time for two more questions. First one is, if a week at a glance gets posted with misinformation, what are the steps you would take to fix it, and how would you prevent this issue recurring in the future?
For one, if it were done like on Instagram or on our Discord, I would immediately change whatever was in the text and then make sure to highlight that there was an edit made saying that there is a correction that needs to be made. And to avoid this in the future, I would definitely try to get the WAGs in as early as I can before board notes go so that I can make sure that the other positions and the people who are hosting those events can double check and ensure that everything is right so that before I would send them off in the email, they would be accurate enough for our general members.
Thank you. Your last question, it comes from the current exec-elect. They ask, if you could be a part of the beach, what part would you be and why?
I would definitely pick the water. I really like swimming, and every time I go to the beach, I try as much as I can to go in the water and just like relax.